Hey guys, my name's Becky, and today I'm hoping that I'm going to save you guys a ton of money. I'm hoping I'm going to make you a lot of money. I'm going to show you lots of charts, lots of information on how to invest, why we choose to invest the way that we do. And I'm going to show you guys a few charts that I'm hoping are going to ease your mind just a little bit, because I know a lot of you guys are freaking out with the markets. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And we're going to take a look at these charts. I'm going to walk you guys through this and show you exactly why we invest the way that we do. And I'm going to show you the different charts for several different asset classes to hopefully, like I said, give you some comfort and some peace with the markets the way that they are. I want you guys to just really zoom out and look at the big picture, because it's so easy in times like today to look at the markets and freak out, right? It's so easy to just be overtaken with fear and just to be super scared about what's going to happen to your money. Because, I mean, let's face it, like, we all work really hard for our money. We're not trying to give it all away, right? We're not trying to just like throw it all in the trash or set it in the middle of the dining room table and light it on fire. We want to grow our wealth. And that's the entire point of investing. So I want to show you guys these charts because I want you guys to see why I speak the way that I do about investments. There are so many people all over YouTube, Facebook, Telegram. I don't care where you're looking. And you guys, you can tell this is not fancy, right? Like, I don't have the fancy, crazy lighting and studio. My office is a wreck in here. I'm just a regular mom I've got two boys that I homeschool. We work really hard in our house. I work from home. I homeschool the kids. We take care of a 42-acre farm. Like, I'm a homemaker. I do the dishes and the cooking and the laundry and all of that stuff. So I'm just a regular person. I am not some, fancy investor or anything like that. And I want you guys to understand that my interest in making these videos is not to make a gazillion dollars. I want to help you be able to retain the money that you're working hard for. And I want to help you build wealth, because at the end of the day, that gives me just such good satisfaction and so much purpose knowing that I can help so many people do this. And I do have a lot of people that come to me asking, Becky, what do I invest in? Or, how am I supposed to, leave this money in there whenever it's at a loss? Or, you're looking at the charts and you're freaking out. So, I want to give you guys some peace and some clarity about why we invest and why it's so important to be financially educated and to look at these charts and to study this stuff for yourself. I don't want you to listen to some random stranger on the internet, even if that's me. If you don't know me personally, I don't want you to just take what I say and run with it and go buy all the things that I say to buy, which, PS, by the way, I am not a financial advisor. I'm certainly not your financial advisor. Like I said, I'm just a regular mom that is out here just sharing this with the world because I believe that it's super important. And this is one area where people are lacking so much. Like, people have no idea what to do with this because nobody's taught this in school, right? So as a homeschool mom, I teach this stuff to my kids all the time because I want to make sure that they are prepped to go out in the world and be able to build wealth and be able to, leave an inheritance to their children's children's and go out into the world and do big things and, live the best life that they can by the Bible. And I just want to share that with all of you too. So when you're investing, my number one tip for investing is going to be know what you're buying. Know what you're investing in. Don't go out here and buy a bunch of stuff that you have no idea what it is, right? Like, probably, I guess it was about 8 years ago, I'm going to say, I was interested in Bitcoin, right? But I had so much other stuff going on. I was building, a multi-six-figure income with an at-home business. I was working hard. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I was taking care of the house. I had so much on my plate. I didn't really have a ton of time to sit around and research, what is Bitcoin? How does Bitcoin work? What is the blockchain? Like, I didn't really know what I was doing. And while I had in the back of my mind that I was interested in it and I was kind of thinking about buying some, I wasn't educated on it. And so I didn't buy it. Long story short, if I would have bought it, I would have made insane amounts of money. But I would rather look back and know that I was wise and that I didn't buy something just because I was buying into the hype. Even if I didn't make enough money off of it, I didn't make a ton of money, than I would to look back and say, oh, I got rich quick, and then watch it all crumble and go away, right? You want to be wise. You want to use discernment and just do your own due diligence on this stuff. But I want to show you these charts because each asset class that you may be looking at, you need to know for yourself where you want to invest your money, because that's not my job to tell you. It's not anybody else's job to tell you. Even if you have a financial advisor, I highly, highly suggest that you get out there and do your own due diligence. Don't just let them, put your money wherever they want to put it. You get out there and make sure that you think that's a good place. Because at the end of the day, it's your money and you want to put it to work for you and put your army of dollar bills to work so that they can go out and make you a lot more money. Okay, so this chart right here that you're looking at on the screen is Bitcoin. So this is just the first one I'm going to show you. I'm also going to show you some stocks. I'm also going to show you precious metals. I want you guys to look at this, and I'm hoping that this is going to help you guys just get a sense of calm about where we are as a country, where we are with our investments and all of that. So this is a one-day chart, okay? So if you would have bought at 12 o'clock midnight, you would have paid $21,510 for a Bitcoin. If you would have waited until 8:30 this morning, you would probably be freaking out if you were checking your account every 5 seconds because the price went down to like $20,000. So you would have lost like $1,000, right? But then it goes back up and then it comes back down. So it's always changing. But if you look at the big picture for one day, then you would have gone from $21,510 all the way down to $21,108. So you lost approximately what, like $400. So then let's zoom out to the 5-day chart and see what that looks like. And now people are like, oh my gosh, now I really don't know what to do because look at this. Like it was up at almost $24,000, but then it tanked out and right around the $20,000 mark. So if you would have bought a full Bitcoin, you would be down about $4,000. So then let's zoom out for 1 month. And then it looks even crazier. Like the further you get, sometimes people don't look out far enough a lot of times to realize what their investments are doing and what they're capable of. So if you even just look out to, 1 month, it still looks like you're losing. If you would have bought for $22,687, you still lost money. So let's go to 6 months out. Well, now you really lost money because if you would have bought back in February, you would have paid almost $40,000 for one Bitcoin, and now it's worth half. So you literally would have lost half of your money. Now, let me clarify this, you guys. You do not gain or lose any money until you sell, okay? So a lot of people will look at their portfolio and they're freaking out thinking they've lost all this money. You did not lose money until you sell. So if you hang on to your investments, then you're going to be that much better off because you're going to be able to watch this grow over time and cash it out whenever it goes up rather than cashing it out when it goes low, right? Like nobody ever got rich buying into the hype and then selling out of fear. Nobody. And what you're going to see is that there's a lot of people on YouTube, Telegram, Facebook, everywhere else that are saying, all of this different stuff to try to get you to do what they want. They're trying to either get you to buy into an asset so that they can cash out at the top and make all their money while you're left holding the bag, or they're trying to get you to sell all your assets so they can come in and scoop them up at a discount. Now, think about it like this. If you go to the grocery store, or let's say you go to the mall, you're looking for a pair of shoes and you really love this pair of shoes that you keep looking at, but you haven't bought them yet, right? Because you keep thinking, oh, it's a lot of money. Let's say they're $100. Well, if you go to the mall next week and they're on sale for half off and they're only $50, you would probably be way more likely to buy that pair of shoes because they're on sale, right? They're on a discount. Investing is no different. And when you start looking at your investments that way, you're going to have so much more peace because when the prices start going up, you will literally start freaking out. Like that's what happens to me when the prices go up. I'm just like, oh my gosh, like I didn't even buy enough. I'm not ready for the prices to go up yet. I didn't accumulate as much as I wanted to, but I continuously dollar cost average my way in to that investment because you never know what they're going to do. At the end of the day, only God knows what these asset prices are going to do. Nobody knows. And you're going to hear like even pros, like even financial people, you're going to hear them all over the place predicting what they think these assets are going to do. Some of them are going to say it's going to the moon. Some of them are going to say it's crashing. It's going to go to zero. At the end of the day, none of them know. And you have to understand that you can't just go around listening to random people and what their thoughts are without you knowing what your thoughts are. Are you investing in something that you truly believe in, or are you just investing because you think you're going to get rich overnight? There's a big difference there. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and zoom out to a year because year to date is basically 6 months. So for 1 year, if you would have bought back in August, it'd be almost $50,000. You've still lost big time, right? Now let's zoom out to 5 years. Now this should start giving you a little bit more peace. little bit more sense of calm, right? Now, this is Bitcoin. So I do want you guys to keep in mind that Bitcoin has not been around that long. So it is a very speculative investment. I'm not telling you to put your money in Bitcoin. I never tell people what to buy. Like I said, I'm not a financial advisor. I have Bitcoin. I'm continuing to buy Bitcoin. I'm buying it all the way down. I'm buying it at the prices that they're at right now. But when you watch these charts and you start to realize how they work, and you zoom them out, and you're looking at the bigger picture, you can see a lot more what they're likely to do in the future. And what I do is study history. And that's, that's the number one factor for me, is what has it done in the past? Because that's really the only thing that we have to go based off of, right? Like, you can't really decide what something's going to do in the future if you haven't had any experience with it in the past. So Bitcoin has not been around that long. It's extremely volatile. So if you get involved in Bitcoin, just know that if you put $5,000 into Bitcoin, it very well could go down to $1,000 the next day. It very well could go up to $25,000 the next day. You don't know. Nobody knows. It's just going to go with the flow. It's going to go with the markets. These assets have whatever value people give to them. So at the end of the day, everything is going to be worth what somebody's going to pay for it. And a lot of people are really interested in Bitcoin right now because they really don't trust the government, and they want something that's decentralized, that the government can't touch, that they can't get. I also, before I forget to tell you guys, I highly, highly suggest that if you do own Bitcoin, or if you're planning on buying Bitcoin, don't leave it on the exchanges. Get it off the exchanges. Exchanges are meant for you to buy and trade crypto. They're not a wallet. They're not meant for you to store your crypto on there, and hackers can absolutely get in there and steal all of your crypto. So I highly suggest that you get a ledger or something of the likes to store your crypto on. But as we zoom out to 5 years, you look at this, if you would have bought back in September of 2017, you could have bought an entire Bitcoin for $4,300. You guys, what? So now it's up to 21,000. So I'm pretty sure that you would probably be pretty happy if you would have bought and held for 5 years. Now let's go out to the maximum. This shows you even more, right? So you literally could have bought back in 2015 an entire Bitcoin for $327. Now, here's my thoughts. You could have cashed out up here at $64,400. And you could have made really great money. Even if you bought at the very top for $19,650, you still haven't lost money, even though we're way down, right? Like, we're way down. This high up here was like $65,000. And right now we're down like 75%. But even though we're down so far, we're still way up from the high in 2017. So you can see how this works. This is the high here. I believe that we're going to have another high and another high and another high. I really do. I believe that we're going to. That is my belief. Now, could Bitcoin, completely go down in price if nobody's interested in it? Yeah. I mean, I believe it could, but I don't think it will. I think that people are continuing to adopt it. There's a lot more adoption now than there ever has been. So when you look at these charts through history, it kind of helps you have a little bit more sense of peace, because you realize, oh, this price right here is actually just a buy-in. This is a really great opportunity for me to buy Bitcoin, right? So that's what happens whenever you zoom these charts out. Now I'm going to show you some others. I'm going to show you this right here is an index fund that I personally buy, FXAIX. This is the S&P 500 index fund from Fidelity. The reason that I started out with this particular fund is because there's no minimum. So you don't have to put in a certain amount. A lot of the funds that you can buy, whether you choose to buy on Charles Schwab, Vanguard, Fidelity, it doesn't matter. Whichever, some of those funds will force you to put in like $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 right up front just to get started. This one did not, and I was not prepared to put that much in whenever I first opened up this account. So I just go in here and buy a little bit at a time. I'll put $100 in a week or $200 in a week, or whatever it is. And the more that you buy in, dollar cost averaging, your account over time will grow. Now, when you buy into the S&P 500 index, basically what this is, I'm going to get super kindergarten with this because I know there's a lot of people watching that, maybe you don't even know what an index fund is. And I may do more videos like this. If you guys are getting value out of this video, make sure you drop down there and, drop a like, hit the subscribe button, help me get this information out. And if you guys will do that for me, then maybe I'll continue to make a lot more of these videos and kind of help show you guys the way as far as financing. But we're going to go back to the basics of what an index fund is, because a lot of people have in their mind that they want to buy individual stocks. So maybe they really like Apple, right? Like there's so many people that are just obsessed with like all the Apple products. So they want to buy Apple. There's a lot of people that want to buy Tesla or Coca-Cola or whatever the individual stock is that you're looking at. But if you buy an index fund, you're basically buying a basket of all of these top performing stocks in the US stock market. So you're literally buying companies. You're buying into the belief that a company is going to exist in 10 years from now, in 20 years, in 30, 40, 50, 100 years. You're buying into that company with the belief that they're still going to be there in the future. And that's where your growth comes from, is as these companies grow, that's where your account will grow, where the monetary value of your account is going to go up. So do you really think, a lot of people are saying, oh, the stock market's going to implode? Yes, I believe that the stock market has a ton of room for correction. However, do you really think that all these companies are going to go under? Like, do you think that Apple, Amazon, Facebook, Coca-Cola, Louis Vuitton, like all of these companies that are in the S&P 500, do you really believe that every single one of those companies is just going to go to zero? They're just going to go away? Because if that's what you believe, I'm not here to tell you what to believe, but if you do, you probably should not be investing in the stock market, okay? You should probably stick to something else, some other form of investment. But if you do believe that they're going to be around and you feel like they're going to grow, they're going to continue to do better, and they're going to continue to add new companies into the mix, then index funds are a great way to go, because you're not going to be as likely to get hurt because you're investing in a full basket of stocks rather than just one individual one. So that is what this stock is, this FXAIX. Like I said, this is one that I personally invest in. I do have some others, but this is one that I really like. If you look at this chart for the last 5 days, if you would have put in some money on August 16th, you would have lost money, right? By today, you would have lost money. But if you zoom out to 1 month, you would actually be up. Zoom out 6 months and you're a little down from the high, right? On March 30th, this same fund, or actually March 29th, it was $161.21, whereas now it's $147.05. So you would have lost some money there, right? But not if you don't cash out. Only if you cashed out. Now, if you cashed out of fear because everybody's telling you, because the markets are crazy, and they're telling you, oh, you need to sell all your stuff and go buy gold, when gold was at an all-time high, well, that's not very smart, because you just sold your investment at a loss to go buy something else when it's at a high. Do you see what I'm saying? You want to buy low. You don't necessarily have to buy the bottom. Nobody knows when the bottom is, but you want to buy low and you want to sell high. Let's zoom out to let's go out to 1 year. Okay, so when you zoom out to 1 year, you're still down a little bit, right? You're still, even though like we had this big dip down here, but then it came back up, you're still down. If you zoom out 5 years though, you probably ain't mad about it. You're probably not mad that you put money in there, right? Because if you would have put money in, like, think about the person that put money in February of 2020. Y'all remember when this big COVID crash hit? If you would have put money in February 21st of 2020, you would have been paying $117 a share, essentially. And then what happened? The market crashed. It went down to $80.28. Okay, so you would have lost a lot of money because the market went just like straight down. So a lot of people right here, I guarantee you, they freaked out, they sold, they lost their butts. And you know what that means? It gives me and you an opportunity to come in and buy more. But if you just would have held, if these people would have bought here and they wouldn't have freaked out and sold by November, they would have been fine. They would have been in growth, right? And then they got all the way up here to $165 a share. And then it tanks out again, right? So it goes all the way down to like $128 a share. And people, again, are freaking out. They're selling. But $128 a share is still more than the high back in February of 2020. So why would people sell? Well, they sell because they're scared. They sell out of fear. And this goes back to the old Warren Buffett saying, Be greedy when others are fearful, and fearful when others are greedy, right? When other people are talking about it like crazy and they're all over YouTube telling you to buy stuff, and they're all over Telegram telling you buy this, buy that. Well, it's probably not the best time to buy. Now, it could be that people are just genuinely telling you that. But you may want to do your research. You may want to just look at the charts before you go forking a bunch of money out into these asset classes. So the market dropped down here, but it's already coming back up. It's already back up to 147.05. Now, do I think it could go down further? Yup. Do I think it will? I kind of think so. Yeah. But when it goes down more, who's going to be buying? Me. And I don't know if you guys are going to be buying too, but I'm definitely going to be buying. I'm buying all the way down, because when you dollar cost average your way in, and you're just spending, $100 here, $200 there, and you're buying a little bit at a time, instead of just YOLOing your whole life savings into one asset class, not even knowing what's going to happen with it or what it is that you're investing in. That's just not smart. You want to make sure that you're averaging your way in so that you don't get hurt. And what that means is you just put a little bit in at a time. You can pick a certain day of the week if you want to. If you want to just do it once a month, you can do that. If you have, put in a little bit here, put in $100 in February of 2020, a little bit more in, March 6th of 2020, put a little more in March 20th. As I see these markets coming down, that's when I start investing more heavily. So when I start seeing a downtrend and it's constantly just going like this all the way down, that's when I see the biggest buying opportunity. Now, will I still buy when it's high? Yes, I do. I still buy whenever it's high, because I dollar cost average my way in with the expectation that by the time I retire, which I'm not ready to retire yet, I'm only 34 years old. By the time I get ready to retire, my expectation is that it's going to be more than it was whenever I put that money in. So it's like Robert Kiyosaki always says, savers are losers. If you're saving money, like I say money, if you're saving fiat currency or saving dollars, US dollars, the value of your dollars is going down every single day, because they just constantly keep printing and printing and printing money, right? And everybody thinks it's free money until inflation takes over and they start to get educated real fast. Like, a lot of people are getting schooled right now because they think that all of this money is free. And then when they see the prices of gas going up and diesel going up and everything at the grocery store and like everything everywhere across the board, the prices of vehicles and all this stuff, they start seeing the prices exploding, and they start noticing that they're getting taxed more and everything else. They start to realize, oh, that's what's going on. Like, this wasn't actually free money. They just printed all this money to try to bail themselves out of a mess that they created in the first place, because they took us off the gold standard. And that means that our fiat currency is not backed up by anything except for the trust of the federal government. And I don't know about you, but I don't really trust the federal government a whole lot right now. Like, I don't really believe that they do have our best interests at heart, and I don't trust them. So that is why I do my own due diligence and my own research on all of this stuff. So again, the stock market, you guys, if you believe that all these companies are going to go under in the next 5-10 years, I would not be buying stocks. However, I don't think so. I don't think people are willing to part with their Apple phones. I don't think that Tesla is going anywhere with this electric car craze that they're trying to create with this Green New Deal and all this stuff. I don't think any of these companies are going anywhere. I think Amazon has gotten too big for its britches. I wish it would go somewhere, but honestly, I don't think it will. I think people are too complacent to give up things that are not good for the economy and that are not good for the country, because it's easier to order off of Amazon. It's so easy just to go on there and just click a button, have an order show up at your house in 2 days. And I don't think people are willing to give that up. So I don't think these companies are going to go anywhere that are in the S&P 500. If you want to know what those companies are, you can definitely Google that. Just go to Google and put in, whatever stock. There are some other ones too. There's one called VFIAX that's from Vanguard. There's an ETF, it's VOO. There are several others that you can look into just to see how they track the markets and what companies are included in those baskets of funds called index funds or mutual funds. But I just want you guys to be able to see this, because I want you to realize that yes, the markets are down right now. Yes, it's a scary time that we're living in, but I don't believe that the whole stock market is just going to implode, because I don't think these companies are going anywhere anytime soon. And also, there's a lot of people that are freaking out right now. Again, this video is just for me to kind of ease your mind and just show you guys, like, I just want you to think logically about it. If the government comes in and tries to take everybody's money out of their personal bank accounts, what do you think would happen? I literally feel like we would be in a war. Like, I feel like people would be so ticked. Like, they're not going to let the government come in and take all their stuff. But if they do, and that happens, we are going to have so much bigger problem than worrying about the money that's in your 401k or your Roth IRA. Okay. There's going to be really big problems. So this is stock market. This was Bitcoin. I just want you guys to see, if you buy and you just hold on to it, just stop freaking out every 5 minutes about these asset classes, and stop listening to everybody on the internet that's trying to scare the daylights out of you into not buying these, and just think logically about it. Would you buy into these companies for the S&P 500? If the answer is yes, then why are you letting people on the internet tell you that the stock market's going to completely implode and you shouldn't buy that? Well, they're using fear tactics because it benefits their wallet, and that's how they do business. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people that prey on the uneducated when it comes to the financial space. And so that's my mission, is just to educate you guys so that you don't get taken advantage of, because that sucks. And I've been there and I don't want you to be there. All right, so here is the silver chart. And I want to show you guys this. This is from 2003, okay? If you zoom this out, so this is this right here is 2022, and you can see the spot price of silver right now is about I think it was like $19.75 or something when I looked about 30 minutes ago. So that's about where it's sitting right now. Well, it looks like it's down, yes, but if you would have bought back here, you would still be up. And the thing with precious metals is, and this is one of those things that's a little bit tricky, because it's not just a chart. All of these financial markets are extremely manipulated, okay? So basically what happens is the government and all these big financial whales, like these big companies, big institutions, they come in and they buy all these stocks, the metals, the Bitcoin, they buy up all this stuff when it's low, and they wait for you to sell it at a loss so they can buy it even cheaper. The metal markets are just as manipulated as everything else. I would absolutely not be buying paper gold and silver, okay? I would not be buying gold and silver ETFs. If I'm owning gold and silver, I'm having the physical gold and silver. Now, you can keep that in your house if you want to. If you're nervous about keeping it in your house, there are options where you can actually rent vaults that they can, keep them in other places for you. But I would only buy the physical gold and silver, because if you're buying it on paper, it's not the same. It's just as manipulated as everything else. So when things do go sideways and things tank, because yes, I do believe at some point they will, you're going to be in just as much shambles with that as you would be with the stock market, only I believe probably worse. If you have money in a 401k or a Roth IRA or whatever, some kind of a retirement account, and it's in stocks, my personal opinion is I would absolutely not tell you to cash that out and put it in metal ETFs. Why would you do that? Like, I would not tell you. That is no. The reason I would tell you not to do that is because at least the stock market grows at a pretty rapid rate. Like, when you look at the rate of return, you look at this silver chart right here, the stock market has grown far more than the silver market over the past years. Gold and silver are like an insurance policy. They're a store of wealth. They're not going to, grow your wealth exponentially. They're just going to help you hang on to the hard-earned money that you've made, right? So when you're earning an income and you go out and you trade that fiat currency, whether it be a dollar or a peso or a euro or a yen or yuan, whatever currency you have, you go and trade that out for a piece of gold or a piece of silver, you're preserving your wealth. You're taking that fiat currency and turning it into something real. You're turning it into real money, into God's money that's been around since the beginning of time. However, it's not going to grow at as rapid of a rate as you would get in the stock market. And if you don't hold it in your hand, when it comes to metals, you don't own it. And same thing with your Bitcoin. A lot of people don't understand Bitcoin and they're confused about it. Like, well, what is it? How do I even keep it? Can't people hack it? Yes, they can hack it. And that's why I always tell everybody, keep your Bitcoin off the exchanges. Put it in a hard cold storage wallet with your own security keys. There's a saying that goes around in the crypto space, not your keys, not your coins. If you don't have your own private keys to access your wallet, then hackers can get in there. Anybody can get in there and take advantage of the money that you have in there. So I just wanted to share that with you guys because I wanted you to be able to see those charts. I want you to be able to zoom out and just look at the big picture, because at the end of the day, you guys, at the end of the day, nobody knows what's going to happen with any of these asset classes except for God. He's literally the only one that knows what's going to happen with this. We are living in crazy times right now. There's a lot of scary stuff going on. There's a lot of money printing, a lot of new IRS agents, all this stuff. But I just want you guys to understand that if you start investing now and you hold it, you don't expect to get rich quick, because that's not what we're here for. If you're an investor, you're not trying to get rich quick. You're trying to get rich over the long term, right? And if you put that money in now and you look back in 10 years from now, I can promise you, you are going to be so glad that you did. And I also believe that if you will diversify the money that you're putting in and not put it all in one place, not put it all in at one time, you're also going to be very, very happy, because like I said, if you go put in, all of your money into Bitcoin and you don't know what the markets are doing, everybody's just hyping it up and the price keeps going up and you get excited and you go put all your money in when it's at $60,000 and then it drops down. Don't freak out. That's not the time to sell. If the markets are going down, that's the time to accumulate. That's the time to buy more. That's the time that it's a sale. It's a discount. It's just like when you go to the store and you see that pair of shoes that you wanted, or you see that boat that you wanted, or whatever, and it's the end of year clearance, whatever, that is the time to buy. Remember, be fearful when others are greedy, and greedy when others are fearful. When everybody's freaking out, like right now, I am buying this stuff up. I'm telling you guys, like, I cannot get enough money to put in there. I run a business from home and I make great money. And my husband also works and he makes great money. But there's never enough to put in whenever this stuff goes on discount. I just want to make sure that I am constantly dollar cost averaging my way into the markets, and I'm just holding it for the long term. I'm not selling it. I'm not buying silver and selling it 5 months from now when it goes up to $25 an ounce. Okay. No, I'm buying it with the intention of holding it with the expectation that the price over time, over the long run, is going to go up. So y'all drop down in the comments. Let me know what you think about this. If you have any questions, definitely let me know. Hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the notification bell if you guys are wanting to hang around. I may do some more of these. And also, I would really appreciate if you guys hit the like button. It really does help me out. So I appreciate you guys, and hopefully this helps, and we'll see you on the next one.